lighting adjustments are needed in many images. You could see here how the lighting is not working very well. This is an indoor picture. Same thing an outdoor picture here. You see this little girl. It's a beautiful picture, but you could hardly see her face. And, the first instinct is, hey, brightness and contrast. Well, notice here that something that's kind of evident here, and this is in every picture, there's the black point, there's the white point, and there's midtones. So black points or shadows, sometimes it's not pure black, but it's very dark areas like here maybe, and here. So shadows very dark. Highlights are very light, and then midtones are things that are kind of 50%. Here you don't even have that many midtones. It's either too dark or too bright. So if I brighten everything, these whites are going to get washed out. Today we're going to learn how to use curves to adjust lighting effectively. It can do many things, but we're going to focus here on lighting because there are other tools like levels and shadows highlights, but this adjustment is really powerful and not very intuitive. So let's go to Image, Adjustments, and click on Curves. Image, Adjustments, Curves. And then it opens up a histogram of the image. Um, the way this histogram works, whether we like math or not, I know a lot of us don't like it that much. Um, but basically here, you see at the bottom, there's a little ticker here and one here. By the way, they made it gray, but this represents black. I should sue Adobe. This is black and this is white. So these are the shadows in my picture. These are the highlights. And this is the horizontal one is the input, which is what they are right now. And then going up vertically, same thing. It's going from shadows to highlights. But basically what we're doing is pretty much for every pixel, we're deciding if it's going to get darker or lighter. And if this histogram, you could tell kind of it's heavier on the left because the picture has a lot of darks. And then notice it's kind of quiet, then it spikes at white because there's some pure whites almost. So this histogram, if it's pretty annoying, we could even turn it off. Let's focus on that bar itself. And what I'm going to do is scoot it to the side. Because of Screen-O-Matic, sorry, we can't see the entire picture, but if you see this part, it probably should be helpful. So looking at this histogram, what we do is we could pull it up and down and notice how the picture, like if I pull everything down, I'm making things darker. And notice that here it's pitch dark. In this area, the whites didn't even get affected. And again, you see here why there's a need to address the shadows and the highlights individually. So let's bring this back to how it was by default. What we need to do is sometimes you don't want to move it. Like here I'm clicking in this point because this is the halftone point. Like I want to hold that one still. Now I want to go to this area, which is the shadows, and I want those to get brighter. So now if I click here, add a point and pull it up, you'll notice the highlights automatically adjust a bit. But wow, look at that. I'm going to scoot curves. Notice how the picture is improving a lot. If I turn preview off and on, the couches, you're starting to see them. You're seeing the walls and these details. But the whites are still not really washed out. So I could maybe make it a little more subtle. And then I'll go to the highlights and like even kind of darken them a little bit. Something like that, where they kind of, go together. And then I'll just hit OK. If you take your time, you can do much better, but I'm going to undo, redo. This is before. This is after. One more time, before and after. So it's pretty powerful. If we do that real quick to the picture of the little girl, just to try it on an outdoor picture, same thing, image, adjustments, curves. And I'm going to do this. You don't have to see OK, cancel, right? The histogram is also hidden. So here I'm going to put a click on the midtones. I feel like the highlights are perfect, like the waves, the sky. I don't want those to change. So sometimes I would just put a few clicks here just to hold it in place. That's probably enough. And now the shadows, let's pull those up. Wow, look at that. And it looks like this was the picture, right? It looks so realistic. It fixes lighting without washing out colors and giving you blotches, maybe a little bit here. And sometimes you would mask out areas, but I don't want to make it too hard. But look how much better it is. Here's before, and here is after. You could even see her hair, her forehead, the wrinkles on the shirt, the details on the boat, even the sand looks much better. The shadows again here, you'd probably have to target each area individually, but that's curves in a nutshell, how you could use it. And just before we stop, if you go to image adjustments curves, it does have some presets up here that could be at least a great start, sometimes to increase contrast or to lighten the picture. But usually an inverted S curve is what would do the trick. The thing is when you apply it, it's destructive. It does apply it. So that's why you didn't see that curve again when we came back. All right, good luck fixing lighting with curves.